Hi Crypto Peeps, hope you're doing well this week. Today's date is 21st of July 2023 and Bitcoin is still holding in there, holding in strong. It ran about 29,700 and change. So with that, let's get to the latest news this week. We got lots to go through, lots of things happening out there in the Bitcoin and crypto ecosphere. So let's get to it right now. Okay, so my first piece of news out there today, and this is all based around NFTs. This is on DigiDay. Are NFTs dead? How media agencies are framing the future of this blockchain technology. After exploding around 2021, the buzz around non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, appears to have dropped significantly recently. Whilst media agencies agree that the hype of NFTs represented as digital art and collectibles has completely evaporated, they believe the underlying technology still offers some value when applied to rewards and loyalty programs, along with nice ways to engage audiences in industries like music and gaming. There remains steady growth in the US, currently generating the highest revenue globally. NFT revenue in the US market is expected to reach $781.9 million in 2023, showing an annual growth rate of 18.48% from 2023 to 2027. Brands are increasingly experimenting with NFTs for different types of loyalty programs, special access experiences, and extra content tied to an event, music album, or a movie. For brands, NFTs should be about giving consumers ownership of something, which can take lots of different forms, like their virtual identity or the value they're creating through being a brand advocate. And this is from Julius, one of the people out there that's heading this up. He also says we see lots of potential there. So there's a little bit of news there for you. It goes into a lot more detail there if that one really interests you in the NFT market. We've all seen it slow down lately, but that's not to be too surprising when we're in a cost of living crisis around the globe. As with all the news here, if you check out the links down below, they're all the news that will be there in full detail. I'm just reading little snippets for you because I know your time's valuable. So with that, we're going to move on to another story, and this is another NFT story here, because it seems to be really focusing on NFTs out there right now in the market. And this one here is on Bitcoinist. The NFT market crashes, and Jack Dorsey's first tweet is now worth just $3.82. Goes on to say here, in March 2021, Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey auctioned off his first tweet as a non-fungible token, or an NFT, for $2.9 million. The NFT, technically a digital certificate of ownership, was purchased by Sina Estavi, the CEO of Malaysia-based cryptocurrency company Bridge Oracle. However, the NFT has since lost most of its value, and as of July 20th, the highest bid for the NFT is just $3.82. As the bids tend to show, most traders or collectors think the NFT is worth far less than the original purchase price, going by the value of submitted bids. For instance, in May, the lowest bid was $13.19, and the latest submission on July 19th at $3.82 reveals how the general NFT trading and collector community perceives the value of what was supposed to be a multi-million-dollar NFT. This is a dramatic drop, and it's a sign that the volatility in the NFT market. Like cryptocurrencies, NFTs are a relatively new asset class, and their value is based on speculation. As a result, NFT prices can fluctuate, with some known to explode to millions of dollars in a short period. For example, in the last bull cycle from the early 2020 to late 2021, popular NFTs like BAYC, and CryptoPunks were sold for millions of dollars on platforms like OpenSea. The drastic drop in bids reflects the general state of the NFT market. Following sharp declines in crypto prices in 2022, NFT trading activity rapidly shrunk, with top collections like CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht registering sharp drops in floor prices. There's more data on that one if that interests you. So there's 2 articles there. There's quite a lot more out there in the field at the moment. People are worried about the state of NFTs. But as I said, I think that these are purchases that people in their flash purchases. There are people that have disposable income, as we're in a mass kind of credit crisis. Across the world, cost of living crisis. Everything's going up in price. People are reining back their spending. So for me, I can see why people aren't buying and selling NFTs as much right now. But, people are worried. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of news here. And this is on CoinDesk. The Fed dramatically speeds up US payments with FedNow, but it also downplays any ties to CBDCs, as it would, of course. So the Fed now conveys money almost instantly versus the hours or days it is conventionally taken in the US, finally bringing the world's largest economy in line with other countries. The central bank has denied the Fed now is tied to any digital US dollar initiative. The US Federal Reserve officially opened its new instant payment service, FedNow, on Thursday, significantly speeding up how long it takes to send money in the world's largest economy. The central bank said 35 banks and credit unions are participating, and early adopters include JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo, with 16 other institutions supporting processing of payments that the Fed argues will offer just-in-time access to paychecks and invoices. That is a dramatic change from the previous status quo, when payments sent through the US banking system can take hours to days to get from one entity to another. The Federal Reserve built the FedNow service to help make everyday payments over the coming years faster and more convenient, said Fed Chair Jerome Powell in a statement. They went on to say now the FedNow service is not related to a digital currency, and this was said by the Fed, with officials such as the Treasury Janet Yellen arguing that the US should consider a central bank digital currency or a CBDC. The FedNow service is neither a form of currency nor a step towards eliminating any form of payment, including cash. The Fed says its new service will operate 24 hours a day whilst continuing to use commercial banks as intermediaries. Central bank officials have previously said it will allow payments to proceed in a matter of seconds. More information on that one, if that one interests you. Big news for you in the US. We've had this kind of fast payment system in Europe and in the UK for years, so we're used to this. It's a shame you guys are just catching up. Moving on to my next piece of news here. We just debriefed this one on CryptoViewing. So we looked at Shiba Inu over the next 4 or 5 years to see how it's going to do. And coincidentally, it's in the news again right now. This is on Finbold. Shiba Inu price pump is imminent. Newborn whale bags 2 trillion SHIB tokens. So if you hold this one should be interesting for you. So crypto whales are enigmatic behemoths in the world of cryptocurrency, wielding immense influence over digital asset markets. On Wednesday, July 19th, a newborn crypto whale surfaced within the Shiba Inu or SHIB ecosystem, initiating a substantial investment that has the potential to catalyze a renewed upswing in the value of the world's second largest meme coin. The investor bought a staggering $2.41 trillion of SHIB coins on Wednesday, an investment worth more than $18 million at the current value price. Wow. So 2.41 trillion SHIB coins. And he spent nearly $19 million to do this. So that might be a big move there. So keep an eye on the price, especially if you like SHIB. It looks like there's some movements, or someone knew something or knows something, and they're initiating a rise there. They don't do this for no reason at all. That's a huge investment. Moving on now to another piece of news. Decrypt, this is fantastic. El Salvador's bonds have skyrocketed alongside Bitcoin in 2023. Since the start of the year, both Bitcoin and El Salvador's government bonds have soared. El Salvador's bonds, due in 2027, have risen by over 60% since the start of the year. In parallel with a price surge for Bitcoin, they've seen the cryptocurrency rise by 80%. Back in September 2022, credit rating company Fitch Ratings lowered El Salvador's debt rating and predicted that debt default would take place in January 2023. Since then, the country's bonds have soared alongside Bitcoin, though other factors are at play, with investors lauding the appointment of former IMF official Alejandro Werner as an advisor to the finance ministry. El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender in September 2021. Since then, the country has seen mixed results. Tourism has increased, but reports indicate that not many local citizens are using the cryptocurrency. According to Bloomberg, the country holds around about 2,546 Bitcoin, worth roughly $76.6 million. Bitcoin has rallied over 80% since the start of January, and as a result of multiple factors. Recent bullish events include the Federal Reserve pausing the latest interest rate hike and BlackRock's application to launch a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, there's lots more information if that one interests you, but it seems like they're holding steady in El Salvador, and what choice do they have with the hyperinflation going on there? On CoinDesk here at the moment, deadlines for US spot Bitcoin ETF approvals come into sight. The applications by industry giant BlackRock and others have sparked speculation approval will be granted. The clock starts ticking this week for the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, on whether to approve or reject 6 applications, including BlackRock's, to list a spot Bitcoin traded fund or an ETF. Bitwise ETF trust application is the latest one to hit the Federal Register on Tuesday, while the following will appear in that compendium on Wednesday, and that's BlackRock, Fidelity, Wisdom Tree, Van Eck, and Invesco. While the SEC published documents seeking public consultations last week on Bitcoin ETFs, the clock on the review process formally starts when the filings are published in the register. Initially, this sets a deadline of 45 days, but this can be extended to 240 days. More information on that if that one interests you. And because all this is big news out there, the next piece of news I have again is on the SEC. And the SEC greenlights Valkyrie Spot Bitcoin ETF application for the US market. What does this mean? It says crypto adoption took a significant step forward when the US SEC approved the Valkyrie Spot Bitcoin ETF application. The SEC's adoption indicates a regulatory tilt towards cryptos. ETF rejections produce confusion, but Valkyrie's acceptance suggests a more open attitude. However, the SEC will carefully review the idea. The SEC officially accepted the Valkyrie Spot Bitcoin ETF application, marking a significant step towards embracing the digital revolution. This indicates a possible, and I say a possible here, breakthrough for mass crypto adoption in the world's largest economy. The move also represents a watershed moment for the crypto community. If the Valkyrie Spot ETF is given the go light, it will be the first of its kind, giving investors exposure to Bitcoin without requiring them to own any crypto physically. That's great news. Seems like big things are happening out there with the SEC and all these spot ETFs. So keep your eye on the trigger here, people. If any of these happen, Bitcoin will skyrocket. So let's let all the news on that one. As I said, all the news for this is down below. Please read this in detail. I can only give you snippets here and little news bites. All the details there. Do your research. So with this, we're going to move on now to some video-based news. And the first one here I have is on Bloomberg Television. A great channel. They got some really interesting stuff there. Have a look at this. This is going on for around about 23 minutes. Just general information from around the board on that one. Another one I subscribe to all the time. This one's really good here as well. This is Coinboro. Coinboro puts out great information almost daily. This one goes on for 21 minutes. It's talking about XRP. Is it going to go higher? What they're doing, what it means for crypto in the long run. And the next piece of news I have for you is also talking about XRP. XRP is big in the news this week. And this is Altcoin Daily. This goes on for around about 11 minutes. Big changes coming for XRP and Ripple's next moves. You know, Ripple seem to be moving the market at the moment because they won their case to some degree with the SEC. So it's moved the market and it's moved the narrative a little bit. So have a look at those. They're very interesting. And if you own some XRP, or even if you don't, it may be a chance to buy in right now because it looks like it might be going places. It's well funded and it's well backed. So that's it for the news this week. As I said, please click those links, subscribe, tell us what you think about the content. You know, it helps us in immense way. Check us out on our channels. Check out our latest XRP predictions we did for the next, I think, 4 or 5 years moving ahead. Very interesting information on there, and it tallies with the latest news coming out right now. That's it for this week. Have a great week out there. Do your research. Check the links below. Be careful out there. Namaste.